Last week, a Berea man was arrested on child abuse charges following an incident at a Richmond Child Development Center back in April.
WKYT's Alyssa Williams spoke with Richmond police and the group that oversees the child care facility.
It was August 9th when 40-year-old Casey Cottle was arrested on child abuse charges. This stems from a nearly 5-month-long investigation following an incident at the Eastern Scholar Child Development Center in Richmond.
On April 26th, staff member within the Child Development Center identified bruising on a child.
When Richmond police reviewed surveillance footage from April 23rd, they say they could see Cottle sitting next to a 3-year-old child and squeezing their arm, which resulted in bruising.
We really commend those teachers at the daycare center because as soon as they noticed that something was kind of off maybe about the situation and about this child, they immediately reported the situation to DCBS, who immediately started their investigation.
In a Facebook post, Richmond police say Cottle is linked to 2 other incidents at facilities in another city, but no criminal charges were filed. John Roden is the deputy director of the Kentucky River Foothills Development Council, which oversees the center. He says they had no knowledge of these prior situations.
Within our process for our hiring, all of our processes are followed. We conduct multiple background checks. Those include the Administrative Office of the Courts, Child Abuse Neglect Registry, and the FBI fingerprint, all which are required within child care licensing within the state.
Cottle was released from jail Wednesday on a $2,500 bond. In Richmond, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
As part of Cottle's release conditions, he cannot have any contact with minors. He will be in court Tuesday.